Good morning, all students. I'm so sorry I am absent today, so that's why I invited a teacher to come and help to support you. Thank you for the substitute teacher. And as we all know, we can keep learning and I can keep teaching with you too. So I'm going to share this video. Please pay attention. So step one, you must know how to log into your Microsoft Teams again. So in your class Microsoft Teams, get back to the files and then go to the app inventor. If you forget everything about the last lesson, no worry, you can go back to the lesson number 1 and then get back to the notes. I put these notes here so you can review it again. So last lesson, what we have covered, we tried to start a project called the 2 buttons. So even though you cannot finish the 2 buttons project, it's all right. What you have to remember is in this page 2, you need to know how to have a project and then you connect everything to your computer. Okay, connect everything and then send the apps to the tablet for you to use. So this is what we up to in last lesson. And how about today? You can get all your teaching materials through this Teams and general and then files and then app inventor again. Remember to click this app inventor and the text, and then you can see another folder called lesson number 2. So click on it and then you can see a bunch of files here. It's already here for you, and then what you have to do is to download this note. So I click here, right click it, and then click download. And once you download your file, you may go back to your download folder in your computer, no matter in Windows or in your Mac, and then you can see your lesson unit 1 Hello is Me student guide. After you open that up, you can see the instructions here. So you may simply follow the instructions. And finally, what are we going to do? You're going to create an app in your tablet, which is an app. Finally, it looks like this. Okay, let me show you. This is an app, and then you can, oh, sorry, where is it? This is an app, it's like this. You can click on the smiley face button, and then it's going to read out an audio file to give it to you. So step 1, you have to go to the MIT App Inventor website. As what I've told you how to do it, you can type in the link all by yourself, or you can search for App Inventor in Google in your Chrome browser, and then open up this MIT Inventor page. And the next step, you can find there is a button on top, an orange button. You can click on the Create Apps. And next step, you can have to log in through the Google account that school provided. Make sure you do all this step quickly as possible. And then right here, you can stop right here. This is the app. I did it last lesson for the other classes. So what you have to do, go back to your notes and then log in what we have done and continue. And then this time, step 4 is a new step. Click the new project. So let's start and click the new project. So right here in your My Projects, start new projects, and then type in the name. In your notes, you will find that it suggests you to name it as Hello is Me. But for me, I will name it as lesson 2, and then your class. Maybe you have 3I, so I type in 3I or 3Y. It's okay. So you may type lesson number 2. And then click OK, and then it will guide me to a new project with a blank one. So follow the notes. Next step, step 6, and then you have to add a button and label components to your app by dragging them from the user interface. Draw in the Padlet to the viewer. So what should I do? In the left hand side is your Padlet. You can find the button right here. So click and drag to the interface of your apps. That's simple. And the next one, you have to add a label. So either you find the label here or you type it to search the label. It's very convenient. So next step is going to ask you to drag one more player into your apps. So beside finding the player from the Padlets, you can also search it here. I prefer to search because it's quicker, it's more accurate. But when you drag it here, you find that you cannot see the player inside the app because it is called a non-visible components. Because to be honest, a player actually is behind the screen. You can just simply click on the player and so on. Okay, so next step, you should have an image of yourself and a recording of your voice saying hello and something about you. By the way, you don't have enough time to search for an image of yourself, and you don't have enough time to record all video. If you want to do so, you can go back home to do it. But during the lesson time, I would like to you to follow my instructions and get the files I already prepared for you. So how you can get the files is very simple. Go back to your Microsoft Teams. In the files, in the lesson number 2 app inventor lesson number 2, you can see I already give you some files. You can see some graphics file like a kitty or the smiley face. You can simply download this file. So right click this file and then click download, and then you should be able to download a file into your download folders. And then the other files I need is the recording files. So right click this file, recording, and then click download, and then all these two files would be saved into your computer downloads folder. You can see these two files, but one thing that you have to make sure is if you have one recording file, and then you will find that you have one more new file with the bracket number 1. Remember, this may create some problems. So the solution is you have to find whether you have two recordings files. If yes, okay, I do so by sort the files. And remember, you are not going to use this recording number 1. You're going to use the recording, and I will tell you how later. So in the next step of your video, step 8, you should have an image of yourself and then upload the file. So how to upload? Right here in the screen, in the components, click on the media upload file. You have to upload two files. Choose your file and then get back to your download folders and upload this smiley face. And the next file you must pay extra attention is when you upload the file, you have to upload the recording files. But remember, you don't upload the recording number 1. Try to find the recording files, okay, here without but not the recording number 1. Okay, so choose this file, otherwise the program would not work. Okay, make sure this, and then click OK, and then you have upload the second file, and then follow the notes. Step 9. Now you have to change the properties of the button 1 and also change the image and something like that. So in the button 1 properties windows, okay, click on the button 1 and then the properties window A, B, C. You have to change the height to 300 pixel and the width with fill parent. So right here, click on the button 1, and then in the properties window in the right hand side, you can click on the height, and then here you type 300 and then click OK. And the next one, the width, click on the automatic and now change it to fill parents. You can see the results in the app immediately. So right here. And one more step is you have to change the picture. So you can find the image here, click this image, and if you upload the file successfully, you may find the smiley face here. So click on and then OK, and then you can find the smiley faces. Actually, you can edit more. For example, you can edit the text here. So for example, you can type Mr. Hoy, and then you can see it's already there. Okay, next step, step 11. So click on the photo that you upload and earlier, and step 8, and then click OK. So we have gone through all the steps. And then also in the player 1, now you have to insert the audio file in player 1. So you have to switch to player 1, and then right here, the source button, click on the none, and then click on the recording files, and then click OK. And then you may find that here is the audio file is already embedded in this player. So we already finished all the layout design. But how about the programming work? How do I make sure when I click this smiley face button and then it will play the audio? So right here, step 13 is called the blocks editor. This is the soul of making an app. So it's very easy. Click on the blocks editor. Step 14, click on the button 1 in the blocks component and then choose the when button 1 click. So very easy. go from the right hand side in the designer view, switch to the blocks view. And then right here in the left hand side, you can find there are many drawers here. Okay, you can click on the button one. Okay, and then you can find one called when button one click and drag it into the coding section. So next one, you have to find the player, and then next one is called the call player one start. So click on here and then drag it here. That's it. Today the code is very simple. That's simple. And then get back to the designer view. Now your apps should be able to work. How do you test it out? How do you test it out? Okay, in step 16, you now test your apps by using your AI2 companion on your tablet, and then connect AI companion. And remember, you have a QR code and your app inventor apps in your tablet. You can scan the code or input the code and then test your apps. So congratulations if you successfully connect your apps, and then you can try to press the button and you can test it out. If you do it successfully, raise a hand and ask your teacher to give you a full mark. And afterwards, if you finish this level one, the basic one, and after the teacher grade you, you can challenge yourself to do something more. Like you can add a stop button here to stop the audio playing. All right. The idea is just as simple as adding this one to make it as a button. And there are some other functions like you can pause it, or you can fast forward it, try to find it, or you can change the picture to your own picture, or you can change the label. Okay, and then the teacher will give you a bonus mark if you want. Okay, so make sure you finish the basic level first and then raise your hand, and I wish everybody you can do it. By the way, try to stick to the step one by one through the notes, and then you can nail it.